So, equation of a straight line. So, let's have a little talk about sort of some of the things that we've done. So, we've looked at how to draw these. So, if I gave you y equals 2x plus 1, you should be able to produce this. We've also talked about the gradient, if you remember. We just take 2 points on the line, and it's the up bit divided by the across bit. There's the gradient, just there, look. So if I give you an equation like 2x plus 1, you can actually tell me what the gradient is. It's just that number, look. Okay? Because the gradient of this is 2. If you remember the previous examples that we did, let me just quickly pop those up for you, look. Do you remember this one? So, y equals 3x. The gradient was 3. There it is. Right? So we can tell that straight away what the gradient is just from looking at the equation. Here was the other one, look. Have a look at this. On this one, the gradient was minus 3. That was the equation that we just had there. So the other bit of information that we need then to complete the equation is thinking about this bit. Why have we got plus 1? Have a look at this number just here, look. This is what we call the y-intercept here. So we've got the gradient, and this part is the what we call the y-intercept. That's where it's going to cross the y-axis. Now, I've got a few others. I've got some I've got some graphs drawn out. We're just going to have a little look at them together and just see if we can figure out what the equation of the line actually is. And on each one, all I need to know is I need to know the gradient and I need to know the y-intercept. So let's have a look at this one here first. So we know it's going to look like this. We want it to go y equals something x plus something. So let's think about the gradient first. So take 2 points, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 divided by 1, 2. Right, so the gradient is 2x. And what's the y-intercept? 0. That's where it crosses, look. Goes through the origin. So I could write plus 0. Yeah, let's put it in. That's not wrong, but why would you write plus 0? So let's just leave it as y equals 2x. Right, let's try a couple more. Here we go. So have a look at this one just down here. Slightly trickier. It's you should just look at that straight away and think it's a negative. Right, so let's take a couple of points. Now, I'm not just randomly taking any points on the line. You'll notice what I'm doing is I'm picking 2 points that are actually kind of on the grid, because there's no point me taking this point just here and then some other point. I'm looking at 2 points that are actually on the grid. It's going to make my life much easier. So just draw yourself a little triangle. So it's going down, so it's minus 3, goes across 1. So the gradient is minus 3 over 1, which equals minus 3. So the equation of the line for this one will be y equals minus 3x. Where does it cross the y-axis? Right, remember that's the other feature. Plus 3. There we go. Here's a little thought for a second. Where do you think the line y equals minus 3x plus 4 would go? Alright, so just going to let you think just for a few seconds. What can you tell me? Well, it's got the same gradient as this. It's got the same gradient, so it's going to be parallel to this line. The only difference is it goes through there. So it would just be, if I do it from this side so you can see it a little bit better, it would be about here. Okay, so it's going to be parallel, but it's going to be just slightly up. If I had y equals minus 3x minus 2, for example, it would be parallel, but it would go through this point down here. So it would be about, I'm not going to draw it in, I'm just showing you roughly where it would go. There you go, it would go about there. Alright, so you can see it's going to be parallel. It's got the same gradient as this, but it would be going through this point. If it was minus y equals minus 3x minus 2. All right. So let's have a look at the last one, and then you're going to try a few. All right. So let's have a look at this one just here. So look what we want to look out for first of all. Again, just picking 2 points. There we go. 3 and 1. So the gradient is 3 divided by 1. So the gradient is 3. So I know it's going to be y equals 3x. And where does it go? It goes through minus 2. That's our y-intercept. So it's going to be y equals minus 3x minus 2. And again, just as a last little test, where do you think the line y equals 3x plus 2 would be? All right, see if you can put that on yours maybe, or just thinking about where that would be. Y equals 3x plus 2. So there's y equals 3x minus 2. So y equals 3x. So therefore it's got to be parallel to this. It's got the same gradient. So it's going to be along here somewhere. But if I said y equals 3x plus 2, I would want it to go through that point. So that's the only thing that's different. So therefore it would be, try and get it in the right place. There you go. It would be about there. So it would be parallel. Oops, a little bit slightly out. It would be parallel, but it's going through that point just there. Okay, so this number is the y-intercept and the gradient. There you go. Right, I've left you with a few questions just to try. So in these questions, all I'm asking you is what's the gradient, what's the coordinates of the y-intercept, and then a few here just to try and match up the equation with the relevant graph. All right, and we'll see how we get on. Right, watch out, just notice by the way, 2C, bit of a, that's a trick. All right, just watch out when you get to that question. All right, so have a go, see how you get on with those.